Lesson 2. How to make tocino and longanisa. Lesson 3. Preserving fruits, vegetables, and fish. Food preservation is not only for meat. The different methods used for preserving meat may also be used to preserve fresh fruits, vegetables, and fish. Do you know some examples of preserved fruits, vegetables, and fish? Do you see them in markets? Since there is a variety of them, you probably even have some of these products at home. Most people prefer to store these products because they are convenient and always ready for use. You should be able to explain how scientific methods are used in preserving fruits, vegetables, and fish, and describe the advantages of preserving fruits, vegetables, and fish. Read on. Do you remember Kathy and Ate Rose? Let's go back to their story. While they were at the market, Ate Rose convinced Kathy to buy other types of food to store at home, besides meat. Other types of food preservation. Pickling. Most green vegetables and fruits may be preserved by pickling in either a brine, water and salt, or a vinegar solution, sugar and vinegar. These methods do not only make the preserved foods last longer, but may also make them more nutritious and better tasting. Refrigeration. This is a common method of preventing the spoilage of fruits and vegetables and keeping them fresh. However, due to differences among some fruits and vegetables, there is actually no definite rule to be followed in storing them in a refrigerator. But here are some general guidelines that you can follow in storing some fruits and vegetables in refrigerators. Guidelines in storing fruits and vegetables. Number 1. Papayas that are firm and full can be stored in the refrigerator at a temperature of 9 to 19 degrees Celsius. Papaya can remain fresh for up to about a week in a refrigerator. Number 2. Avocados may be stored at a temperature of 7 to 10 degrees Celsius. They will last for about 1 week. Number 3. Cabbage can be stored at a temperature of 0 degrees Celsius. Storage can be maintained for about 2 to 3 weeks. Number 4. Pechay as well as mushroom can be stored at a temperature of 0 degrees Celsius. However, stored life is much shorter, 10 to 15 days for pechay and 5 days for mushroom. These methods can be used when you have a refrigerator at home. But what if you don't have one? Fortunately, you can resort to other methods of preserving fruits and vegetables. Apart from pickling and refrigeration, another method is canning. You have probably noticed that many companies can and bottle products such as fruits, vegetables, fish, and meat. Canning allows you to store foods for longer periods of time. Read on. Let's go back to Kathy and Ate Rose to find out how the pickling process is done. Ate Rose is going to teach Kathy how to preserve fresh fruits and vegetables. She will also teach Kathy how to preserve fresh after they ate dinner. Sterilizing the jars is important to make sure that the acharo containers are germ-free. Immerse the jars and lids in a pot of water. Boil them for 20 minutes. Then remove with a clean tongue. Place them upside down on a clean surface. If they are not to be used immediately, screw the lids on the jars when they are not too hot to hold. You don't want germs to contaminate your jars. Remember the vegetables you soaked overnight? You have to drain off the liquid. Pack the vegetables in the sterilized jars. Use a clean spoon or tongue. First, you have to prepare the brine. Use the same amount you used for the grated papaya. 1 cup of salt and 4 cups water. Boil it to kill the microorganisms. Cool the brine. Place it in a sterilized jar. Next, peel and slice the green mango, but not too thinly. Place it in the brine. Leave it for 2 days to allow fermentation. Remember, a lot of useful information has been given in the dialogue between Kathy and her Ate Rose. Below are some of the most important points. Pickling is a form of food preservation often used for vegetables. It involves the use of vinegar as acid and sugar for absorbing water from the food being preserved. These two ingredients, when combined, help prevent the growth of harmful microorganisms. Fermenting is a form of food preservation which allows good microorganisms to transform the food. The end product has a different color, blend, and flavor, but it is safe and delicious to eat. Refrigeration delays the growth of harmful microorganisms. Since most microorganisms grow best at room temperature. Canning is another food preservation technique. It is used when foods have to be kept for longer periods of time. Drying and salting are two of the most popular food preservation techniques. Both methods involve reducing the moisture content in the food. Microbial growth is delayed in low moisture conditions. Fruit preserve. Among the very popular fruit preserve products are jams and jellies. Jelly is a fruit product prepared by extracting the juice from fruits, boiling this with sugar, and cooking the mixture to attain a gelatin-like product. Jelly may be made only from fruits rich in pectin and acid. Pectin is also called vegetable jelly. You can test if pectin is present in your fruit. Get a tablespoon of juice from any fruit. Add a tablespoon of ethyl alcohol, not the one from rubbing alcohol. If the mixture gels, it means your fruit is rich in pectin. You can make good jelly with that fruit. Jam is similar to jelly, but in jam, the whole fruit is used including the pulp, rather than the fruit juice only. Making candy out of fruits is done when the syrup penetrates slowly through the fruit. The sugar concentration in the fruit has to be high enough to prevent spoilage. This is usually done through repeated boiling and storage in syrups. The syrup is made of sugar and water. The fruit is soaked in syrup for a week, heating the syrup for 5 minutes every day. When the syrup is thick, the syrup-soaked fruit is drained and dried under the sun. After that, it is wrapped in cellophane. Remember, to avoid the spoilage of excess fruits and vegetables or to prolong their use, certain preservation methods like pickling may be used. Examples of preserved fruits and vegetables include achara, burong mangga, vegetable pickles, jams, jellies, candies, and more. Fresh biotechnology. Remember, to avoid the spoilage of excess fruits and vegetables or to prolong their use, certain preservation methods like pickling may be used. Examples of preserved fruits and vegetables include achara, burong mangga, vegetable pickles, jams, jellies, candies, and more. Fresh fish is preserved through drying and salting, such as in making daing and tinapa. Jelly is made by extracting the juice from fruits by boiling it with sugar and then cooking them. Jam is similar to jelly, but instead of just the juice, the whole fruit is used. Biotechnology. All these methods of food preservation form part of what we call biotechnology. Biotechnology means the application of advances made in biology to industry, agriculture, medicine, manufacturing, and waste management. One application of biotechnology is food preservation. Examples are the use of bacteria for the manufacture of alcohol, yogurt, and insulin. The use of microorganisms in the production of beer, wine, vinegar, vitamins, and protein. The selective breeding of animals and plants to improve production and to bring about desired traits. The manipulation of genetic material to develop pest-resistant crops, medicines, vaccines, and cures for genetic diseases. And the use of biological methods to control insects and pests. Biotechnology is essential to humans, animals, and plants. Therefore, all of the examples above can be applied in our daily lives. Sum up. In this module, you learned about different methods of preserving food. The key points of the module are as follows. Foods that are not properly stored or preserved will spoil easily. Microorganisms, such as bacteria, molds, and yeast, are common causes of spoilage. Spoiled food changes in color, odor, and flavor. The changes are often unpleasant, and the food is harmful if eaten by humans. Meat is one food which easily spoils. It contains nutrients and moisture, which invite microbial growth. Contaminated meat has a strong odor like ammonia and looks dark or greenish. Scientific methods are important in food preservation. This assures that harmful microorganisms will be killed or at least prevented from spoiling the food. Meat can be preserved by freezing it at a temperature of 0 degrees Celsius or lower. Other methods of meat preservation are drying, smoking, salting, curing, and canning. Preserved meat not only lasts longer, its flavor, color, and texture may also improve when cooked. Biotechnology is the application of modern scientific knowledge in the fields of agriculture, industry, medicine, and food manufacturing. Food preservation is improved by modern biotechnology. Salt, vinegar, spices, and saltpeter or potassium nitrate or salitre are important ingredients in curing meat. The addition of these curing ingredients prevents or delays harmful microorganisms from growing in the meat. Fish can be preserved through the following methods: freezing, canning, salting or dyeing, drying or tuyo, smoking or tinapa, and the addition of vinegar and spices. Vegetables and fruits can be preserved by pickling and fermentation techniques. Aside from these, fruits can also be preserved by the addition of sugar. Popular examples of fruit preserves are jams, jellies, and candies.